Greetings and salutations, welcome to another Wonderkid video. Today we're going to be looking at central midfielders. That includes defensive midfielders and attacking midfielders in a central role. Some of these players can also play other positions, but that's their sort of main focus. So these are some of my favourite players. There's plenty others around the world. I'm also not including British players because I want to do those as a separate little Wonderkid British video thingy-majig. So I'm just going to talk you through quickly some of the players. I've got my shortlist here and we'll quickly go through them. Right, so first up we've got Renato Sanchez, who is a 17-year-old Portuguese youngster. I just like this one because I think he's got a lot of potential. I'm Real Madrid in the in this database, and the scouts rating possible 4.5 stars. Really good determination, decent work rate, which are two important stats to helping that player reach their potential. But a really good all-rounder, I think, because I think he can play midfield centre or attacking midfield. He doesn't really have any sort of weaknesses, and he's only 17 years old, so he's going to be a quality player. And where is he playing at? So he's playing at the so he shouldn't cost too much money to get. You never know. Next up, we have Danilo. Brazilian defensive midfielder, pretty much that's the only position he can play, and it's sort of the same again really. He's just a good all-rounder without being exceptional. I think a few years time he could make a really good captain with a work rate 15, teamwork 15 and leadership 16 at 19 years old. But other than that, he's just a really good all-rounder, and I think he could become another quality player. Next up we have Yuri Tillemans. This guy becomes an absolute beast. He's 18 years old at Anderlecht, and he becomes superb. He's definitely worth getting. I don't think he costs a massive amount, I want to say. What are they asking for? Okay, so he does cost quite a bit. Yeah, so they're not happy about that. But he's an absolute decent player. He becomes really, really good. It's going to cost you a bit of money, but definitely worth it if you've got that sort of money to spend on a youngster. Only 18 years old. You know, you can mould him. So these aren't the best. They need work, but they will improve naturally because he's so young. But that'll definitely be his sort of weaker side of his game, will be his physicals. Leon Goretzka, who's a 20-year-old German, really versatile, plays for Kirkin, plays as a central midfielder, but literally play any midfield role. Really good pace, determination is great, teamwork's great, work rate's great, really helpful stats. I think he's probably best as a central midfield, but actually you could mould him however you liked because his crossing's already 12. His finishing's 13. You could decide, because he's so young, decide exactly where you want to play him. Cost you a bit of money, but I think he's definitely going to be one of the top players in the world in a few years' time. Next we've got Joshua Kimmich, who's a 20-year-old German. His mentals are ridiculous for a 20-year-old. Absolutely ridiculous. His technicals are okay, and his physicals are lacking in a couple of areas, especially as a sort of defensive midfielder type, because you'd kind of want the strength. His pace is a little bit low as well, but the strength is definitely a letdown. That's something that needs working on. But decent tackling, sort of decent technicals without being exceptional in area, but no real weaknesses. I think he's going to become an absolute beast as well. But also he's at Bayern Munich, so good luck. Good luck trying to sign him for cheap. Next up we have Lincoln, who's a bargain. And that's the main reason I got him. He's 16 years old. Look at those mentals for a 16-year-old. So when I saw this guy, I was like, what the hell? 16 years old. You can get him for 1.5 mil, let's say. Determination 18, work rate 16. He's going to smash his potential, possibly 5-star potential. This guy could be proper world-class Ballon d'Or winner type player. Can play as attacking midfielder, but can also play on the wings and up front at a push, but although that might need some work if that's where you want to play him. His physicals are pretty decent for a 16-year-old. They all improve naturally, but could do some work as well just to get those sort of strength and stuff like that up. But he's going to become a beast. If you want to make an investment, this is the way you go with Lincoln. Next up we got Angel Correa, who's a 20-year-old Argentinian currently playing for Boca Juniors. He's just really good. He's your flair player. He's your advanced playmaker. He's got flair. He's got dribbling. He's got first touch. His off the ball is amazing. His passing is amazing. His technique is amazing. He's going to beat people for fun. He's got decent pace. But his natural finish and stamina are really good. He's going to be and he runs with the ball often as his preferred moves. He's just going to beat people for fun in that role. He's going to be absolutely amazing. And you can play him out on the wing as well. His pace is okay for a winger, but his crossing is 15. Yeah, he's decent. Like long shots maybe is the only thing that sort of really lets him down there. But yeah, absolute monster of a player. Next up we got Ante Quaritch, who is an 18-year-old Croatian, attacking midfield centre, but can fill in on the wing position. Definitely better going forward. He can't defend for shit. Just another absolute quality player, another flair player, very similar to the previous guy, with really high flair and dribbling and technique and stuff. There's a couple of areas he's sort of lacking in. His strength is poor. He's only 18, so these things will go up naturally. But his work rate's 10, positioning 9. Concentration 8, so he could go missing in the odd game, but still he's going to be an absolute beast. Next up we have Asani. I'm so bad with names, and these are just really aren't helping. Asani Nokuri. He's an 18-year-old Ivorian. Plays central midfield and defensive midfielder. Not quite the level as the other two, I'd say, but he's still got masses of potential. Like I say, only 18. You kind of get spoiled looking at these stats, but that is still pretty impressive for an 18-year-old. His technicals are pretty poor, but like I said, 18 years old, you can work on any area depending on where you want to play him, like more defensively or attacking. Being 18, it gives you that space to decide really what you want to do with him. But having 18 natural fitness at the 18 years old is amazing. Decent strength as well for a youngster. He's going to become an absolute beastie. Next up we have, it just doesn't get any easier, does it? Abu Lahat Diakite, probably. This guy is only 16 years old. He's a Fiorentina youngster. Best played as a box-to-box midfielder, but can play defensive midfielder. Although his tackling, he's probably more of a deep line playmaker. His tackling's poor, his marking's poor. His heading's dreadful. He's only 5'6". He's not a defensive midfielder. But his physicals are amazing for a 16-year-old, and he's got no sort of other weaknesses apart from defensively. But going forward, he's really decent. He's going to become a absolute quality player. You can get him for a compensation of 875,000, so he's a bargain as well as that. Next, Pierre-Emile Holberg. This guy, I know I've said it a few times already, but this guy's a monster. He can play everywhere. Left back, striker and goal is his only positions he can't play. And he can play well anywhere because he's good going forward. He's good defensively. He is just a beastie. And he's only 19 years old. He's already got 7 caps for Denmark, which is not surprising. Described as a wonderkid. Dictates tempo, likes to switch the ball to the other flank. He's young enough that you could basically choose which position you want him in and just work on his training to become exceptional at that. He's a monster. He's going to be expensive. We're looking at 28-30 million for him, but absolute beastie if you've got that kind of cash to spare. Finally, we have Andres Kubas. He's only going to cost you between around about £4 million. 19-year-old Argentinian, for another one from the famous Boca Juniors Academy. Just another fantastic young player. I think the biggest reason I liked him was that he's affordable. But he's just a good all-rounder, really. Definitely a defensive, much more defensive than the other sort of players we've looked at. So, that about rounds up. Hope you enjoyed it. Please leave... Backtrack. Please leave comments. Tell me who you like, what players you found on the game and stuff like that. Like I said, there's other Wonderkids that are missing. You can find, if you wanted to, you can go and find shortlists that have hundreds of players. These are just some of my favourites for various different reasons. There's plenty of other good players out there. Please check out my other videos. I'm doing one for each position. I'm also doing a British Wonderkids video, and I've also got lead save and all that sort of stuff. So please check out that. Please like and please subscribe, because that'd be amazing. I'm a new YouTuber and I really want to get some good content going. Sorry for the background noise. My computer is old and decrepit. New one arrives in 2 weeks. But until then, we just have to live with it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.